So, as I'm wrapping up yesterday's video, editing, tagging, doing all the YouTube stuff, I get on Twitter and it looks like the Warriors have released Mac McClung and Trevion Williams. A lot of people disappointed. Trevion, man, that was intriguing to me. Mac, I'm not that surprised. I didn't think he was a Warrior type, even though he had, he has some skills and some talent. A lot of people hyped on McClung, and we'll see if he catches on somewhere else. But I'm actually very excited about this news. The Warriors are bringing in Ty Jerome. Some of you may say, well, who is that guy, right? But some of you also probably remember his national championship at Virginia. Was DeAndre Hunter on that team? Virginia has a type. It's similar to Villanova, where not that this is the same type, but there's a toughness and there's certain habits that Virginia players are going to bring to the table. I remember when the Suns drafted him, I think it was just outside of the lottery a couple years ago. I was mad. I was low-key mad because I thought it was a steal. And for whatever reason, the Suns organization's been in a lot of flux, and we'll talk about them here in a little bit. He moves on to OKC. Actually had a couple big games against the Warriors with the Thunder last year when they were tanking and he was getting more minutes. You notice teams, that's where guys catch teams' eyes, right? If they light you up, then you see them on their summer league team or on a preseason roster. But listen, so national championship at Virginia, 6'5", 200 pounds, elite float game. Okay. And now hear what I'm saying here. He's got a Luka pace to him. He's not Luka. He's certainly not as big and he's not as good, right? But he plays at that kind of slower pace where he plays the angles. He knows how to use his body and bump, range on the shot. Just he is dripping in Warrior ball. Ty Jerome, just the IQ, bigger guard. And I really do believe if this does come to fruition, he's already in San Francisco waiting to clear waivers to pick him up. I think what's happened now, I haven't heard this reported, but I think that they were surprised that he was available on the open market, right? He was just traded in the Rockets deal, the Thunder Rockets deal, where it was like a 8-player deal. I thought he was like part of the package. When I saw his name, I was like, dude, if I was OKC, I would have kept him. That's how much I like Ty Jerome. And so the Warriors, maybe out of surprise, was like, all right, well, we got to pick him up. But then they cut both of them because we picked up another guy. What's his name? Lamb, Anthony Lamb. Now, I'm not as familiar with him. I do remember him kind of lighting us up in a Rockets game last year. I'll tell you, that's how it happens, right? 6'6", shoots the three ball, kind of Trey Lyles-like. He gives me Trey Lyles vibes, kind of a husky body. But again, Ty Jerome is the prize in the news of this transaction. Never mind Mac McClung. Never mind Trevion Williams, as intriguing as those two are as prospects. This kid at 25, I think he can have a Sean Livingston type of role for this team moving forward. Now, they're different players. Sean, completely different built. But that steady hand with the second unit and have a similar impact, just getting it done in a different way. I'm super high on Ty. I'll put it to you like this. If this comes to fruition, I think he's well worth the 15th spot. Who am I to say how you going to spend your money? But I'm telling you, if they can put him as the 15th spot there, he will be my favorite move of the offseason for the Warriors. That's how much I like Ty Jerome. And so I was really excited to hear that news, even though I was disappointed that they let go of Trevion again. Is that to let them catch on with another camp and maybe get a spot? They're like, look, you're not going to get our 15th spot. Go sign with somebody else real quick and see if you can catch on. So maybe it's a favor to them, but the Warriors always wheeling and dealing. And let's see what he does here in these final 3 preseason games. That not much time to earn that 15th spot, but you guys have noticed, a lot of the time, Bob and I are on the same page right now. But if they like him just half as much as I do, I think that they probably are already going to give him that spot. So we'll see. I'm excited about that. Now, the other news that broke in the last 48 hours was Tyler Hero, 4 years, $130 million. And everybody was like, all right, well, that's the Jordan Poole contract, right? That's the bar now. And, 2 Milwaukee guards, right? There's some similarities, third guards or scoring guards, combo guards, as people call it now, right? Listen, Tyler Hero may be the more talented player between he and Poole, but I would be willing to bet on who Poole is moving forward as far as work ethic, staying hungry, and just getting better, right? Where Hero, he seems a little more interested in just being famous. His cereal, his IG baby mama, like there's a lot going on in South Beach with Hero. And you've heard rumblings of it with the Heat fan base and Riley kind of checking him. And so, like, good. I'm not saying Miami shouldn't have paid him, right? A homegrown product, you got to retain him. What I'm saying is if I'm Jordan Poole, I'm not taking anything less than what Hero got, right? Because just moving forward long term, I'd bet on Poole having the better career than Hero, even though they are similar and comparable. And that's why the contract I'm bringing up to you now is because, again, that's going to be 4 years, 130. That's steep. But then you hear everybody talking about this new TV deal and how this will actually, these contracts won't look so crazy in a year or two. And so we'll see how that goes. Suns lose their preseason opener to some NBL team, right? The Australian League team, the 36ers or something like that. And they got beat bad. Their starters were playing. What's the phrase? The cat is out of the bag. The toothpaste is out of the tube. Right? Like some things you can't take back when it's said. It's funny. You see this like during the off season, I watch these dating shows with my wife and family. My girls, they like it, right? There's no basketball on. It's entertaining. And it's funny when you see someone say something to somebody and then they like try to backtrack on it. It's like, bro, you just said that. Like it's too late, right? I think that's what happened with Monty Williams and DeAndre Ayton. Talked about it again, just speculation here. We know, here's what we're not speculating on, that the relationship was rocky and there was some sort of confrontation in that game 7 against the Mavericks, right? And I had hypothesized that Monty was babying may not be the right term, but kind of biting his tongue throughout the year, everybody patting DeAndre on the back and saying, oh, we need you. You're the guy, right? And I think in that moment, Monty probably had enough and was like, dude, you soft ass motherfucker. If you don't get out there, like, and just went off on him, right? And so again, the cat is out of the bag. I don't know if that relationship can be mended. When you combine it, not just with Monty, but with the organization, again, actions speak louder than words, was kind of like, no, we ain't really trying to pay you that. And then they had to retain the asset. So you have that aspect of it, right? Jay Crowder is not even part of the team right now. He's not reported to camp. He wants out because he wants the same role, a bigger payday, whatever the case may be. And listen, in theory, Cam Johnson can easily step in and replace, I won't say easily, but should be able to replace Crowder in the starting lineup, right? He's longer, shoots the ball better, spaces the floor. Like, yeah, cool. But, so much of what Crowder brings to the table is his toughness, right? He's out there talking shit, shoving guys. And a team like the Suns, when you look at the rest of that roster, like it's super valuable, right? So again, like Cam, I'm a Cam fan, but he's not exactly a physical or tough player. And it may work in the regular season, but come playoff time, who's that rugged physical guy? So we'll see who they get back for him. But, there's that. And then you talk about the Chris Paul factor. I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. We write him off every year. He's another year older. He's small, this, that, right? But I think there's another aspect of it where he has a short shelf life with teammates. We talk about it with coaches more, right? But, I think that there was an initial honeymoon phase with Chris Paul, and it maybe was even longer than it normally would be because the Suns had this huge jump into relevancy, and they made a run, we know, to the finals. Right? But now year 3, I think his voice starts to wear thin with his teammates. So you have that aspect of it. And then you look at it, Twitter's going off here on me. Probably something happened now that I got to backtrack off this video. But I think JaVale was a huge loss. And you look at their second unit campaign. Now he had that one big year and then last year was a down year. So was the big year an anomaly or is he going to bounce back? But you lose McGee and you look at that second unit, you consider Crowder's out of the mix, right? If Dario Saric doesn't return like bigger and better than ever, that second unit's in shambles. I didn't know they acquired Josh Okogie, but he's not going to score the ball for you. So yeah, man, I think that the Suns potentially, this thing could go south quick. Right? I think we all see the writing on the wall here, the first 20 games. When is Ayton trade eligible? Is it that December 15th date for him, which is a lot of guys, right? But it's going to be interesting here. And, you know, we've all praised Monty Williams for the coaching job he's done. He's going to be tested. He's going to be tested here in the resiliency and in the, you know, Booker is such a chippy personality. So I think that's one of the teams to watch these first, you know, 15, 20 games, because there's going to be some drama and rumors swirling around that team. Rest of this short episode, I'm going to bump to Patreon.